the controlling idea has to be something that you think is true, or else it's not.
Yes.
Really going to work for you. What if you don't necessarily believe it's true, but it's something that is aspirational? I mean, like in real life.
Oh, well, that sense is true. That's just another sense of true. I mean, it's true in the sense it's what we should do. It's what our ideal, what we would dream for. That doesn't mean it's false. It just means that it's wished for.
Right.
And if we could get it, it would be a good thing, right? So when I say true does not mean fact.
Okay.
I mean, I think I said that earlier.
Yeah.
I said, facts and truth are not necessarily the same thing. So if a controlling idea of a story is that goodness comes into the world because human beings are very courageous. And you go, wait a minute, most of the time human beings are scared to death. Most of the time people retreat. Most of the time people do not fight for good. I mean, just look around the world and you say, well, that's not realistic. Okay, it's not a fact. Most of the time people aren't very courageous. Most people are afraid, whatever. But that doesn't mean that a story that says, that the best of human beings will rise to the occasion to defeat evil, as in Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter or whatever, is false. It just means that that's our ideal. That's what we would wish for, and that is truthful in that idealized sense, right? And so looking at the meaning of something, naturally you have to look at the meaning in the context of the story. And so when you look at the controlling idea of your story, you say, in this story, here is the meaning that I've created. Is that true? I mean, I could create very idealistic controlling ideas about, good triumphing over evil for whatever reasons, just out of the blue, and then put them into a story, and that becomes completely false because not for these characters, not in this situation. And so it isn't only the controlling idea as an idea outside of the story in the world. It's in this story. Is this a truthful statement for these characters in the story that I'm telling here? And that's what has to be determined. Pardon?
So that will reflect back on the setting that you've created
and
for
the characters and every moment that goes on and how and why they do what they do. And so it's the controlling idea, as you understand it, is true in this story, in that context.
So
not just abstractly, but...
So if, let's say, just for instance, like your aspirational thing is justice will triumph, something simple like that.
Justice will triumph because, the other half of the...
because the good guys stick together.
There you go. Camaraderie.
Like that's one of the things that
they risk and sacrifice for each other. The good guys stick together. The bad guys fight amongst themselves, and that's why the good guys win.
And so
right?
you might think that in the real world, in the setting, quote unquote, of the real world, the rules that we have in the real world, that might not necessarily be true. But in the setting that you've created in your
it's
script,
convincing.
That could be true.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so that's what you have to be concerned about. Is whatever the controlling idea may be in the story that you tell, is this true?
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.